Well, here we are today at fabulous hallcroft fishery, and our winter series of matches have started, and this is the Wickersley Alan Taylor Bomb and Feeder League. It's over 8 matches and best 6 count, and it's one I won last year, so I'm retaining my title hopefully, and it's here. This is the first round. You can throw 2 away, so. And look at this for a play. I can't remember when I first come here. It were all years ago when Talbot's owned it. Look at it now. All these caravans. That's your clubhouse. You can't see your clubhouse for them posh houses there. Big house there. Can all park behind us. Peg, look, nice and simple. But this is the island. This is Moat Island, and this is one of my favourite lakes ever. I love this lake. If I had to pick 10 lakes ever, this would be my 10. Because I just love this lake. Why? Probably because it's bigger, wider, you're not hemmed in. And look at caravans there, they go all the way down there. There you go, what a place. Every peg's platform, park behind every peg. But this is the island. I've drawn on the island today. There's 2 sections on the island, 2 6-peg sections and 2 6-peg sections on the outer. And the idea of this is to win your section. I think last year I missed one, but I dropped 1 point. And I just beat Speedy, I think, either by a point or on weight. I can't remember. It was just nice to beat him for a change. And great event. But Alan Taylor, my best pal, he runs it for Wickersley, and it's sponsored by Colmick, which we thank you very much for. Really appreciate it. And it's always, any sponsorship is fantastic. And so look at the wind and all blowing up into the corner. And there is a bit of a problem that Brian Sullivan hasn't drawn an MPEG, which is unbelievable, because last year I think he had about 7 out of 8. It was unbelievable, and he's going to have to talk to somebody either side today, which is a massive shock to him, and we're all a bit stunned about it, to be honest. But anyway, what have I drawn? That's the main thing. I've drawn a really good peg. If you'd have said to me this morning, put your tattle there, I would have put it down, and I'd have put it there at MPEG there, because that'll take some beating today. I've got Rob riding on MPEG there, 73, but I've drawn 70 on the island. It's a peg I drew in one of these last year and did really well. There's always carp up here, although it's in on top, which is a bit of a worry, because normally you see an odd fish top here. And the carp in here, if you get one less than £10, it's a little one. The big things now, and if somebody gets a £20 and nobody, it will be surprised. Loads and loads of doubles, and I'm having to weigh in, so God, I help into a lot of fish caught because I'll be worn out. But this is peg 70, and I would have put my tattle on it. I really fancy this today. Whether I beat Rob or not, I really think second in my section will be a good result, and if I win my section, that's a pure bonus. But I would have put my tattle here. This is where they are. Wind's blowing up into this corner, and on this place, they are wind dominated. They really are. So I'm going to fish this bomb and feeder. You can feed with a catapult or by hand. And I've got 3 rods set up. There you go, look, I've got a hybrid feeder there, I've got a bomb, and I've got a pellet feeder somewhere, a pellet feeder on the rod. And so I'm going to find out which is. I'm going to start on that, on the hybrid, and see where we go from there. And bait wise, it's fishery pellets only, so I can't put my spotted dick in today, which I love to put in, but I can't put it in, so it's just micro pellets, corn with some sensate in. They've been soaked in sensate, and that's milk bait there. But I can feed pellets. I'm going to feed pellets as well, some 6 mils, and just work out. It might be a bit too mild yet for corn, so it might be a pellet job, but I'll find that out during it match. I'm certainly going to feed pellets somewhere, and I'm certainly going to feed corn somewhere, and then I'm going to chuck a bomb on them and see what happens. So I'll be fishing 6 mil wafters or carpos on the hook and see where we go from there. But it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Last year it was a bit of a, it's alright that I can, but last year it was further over in. I had a bit of a nightmare, and it was horrible. But so where am I going to fish on this peg? Well, it's about 36 to 40 metres wide, and on this place one of the things you get is a really good ledge just really close on both banks. It goes quite, like there will be 5 foot deep, and then it'll be 5 foot all the way along. So up to about 5 or 6 metres it'll be 5 foot, and then it'll be 5 to 6 foot all the way across to the same ledge on the other side. So always think that you don't want to chuck to a platform, you want to chuck 3 or 4 metres short, so you're at the bottom of the ledge. I think that's really important, at the bottom of the ledge. Loose feed me corn down middle, and as it gets colder and colder, all the fish will be down the middle. But I think at the moment they'll still be on that far bank, especially with the wind blowing into it. And then I'm going to feed either under that tree or both, and that tree down outside for the last hour to see if I can get a proper big boy and take the biggest fish overall, because trust me, there'll be some 20-pounders caught in this league, 100% I would think. So that's my line. I've got my line here, I've got my line at middle, and I've got my far back line. And then depends on indications, liners and bites, depends on where I'm going to fish for the rest of the match. But I've not seen one top, which I'm really surprised about, because normally when you're on them you see an odd fish top, and I'm a bit disappointed I haven't seen one. Maybe there's that many there, if they jump out they'll lose the place, so they don't jump out. So like I said, it's just me a corn and pellet job, and I'll have a 6mm waft on it up and find out what colour, and I'll let you know how we get on. But I'm right excited about it. Looking forward to retaining my title, hopefully, so I'll let you know later. Well, that's the end of the first round, and a bit windy now. Look how windy it is, blowing again, which has been good. And I've had a decent day actually. I've got 11 carp that'll go probably nearly £80 and 15 pound of skimmers, so I've 90 odd pound. Whether that's any good or not, I think it's fished really well. And I've went across at start with a hybrid. I got one. I loose feeding corn down middle just there towards that tree about 11 o'clock, and pellets down middle about 2 o'clock. I said 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock like it to my right. And after an hour I'd got one fish, and I started catching skimmers across. I had 5 or 6 skimmers, not big uns. And then an hour and a half I thought, well, I'm not really catching a lot here, and I can't see anybody, so I don't know what's happening, I ain't got a clue. And I picked my corn line up, and normally corn line don't work till it gets really cold. Chucked it in, went straight round, got a carp, another carp, another carp, another carp, and I've just fished there all day, and I've had like I said, 11 carp, and up to probably £11, and I've had 25 skimmers that will go £15. I'm sure about every casting, and every fish that I've caught has come between chucking in and 2 minutes. If I've waited more than 2 minutes I ain't had a fish, so I've just wound it back, chucked it in, which tells me the fish are off the bottom, and they've just followed it down and just took it. And I've had 2 or 3 as I've sink it line, it's pulled rod in, and that's really unusual. And I've had a couple of chucks on my pellet line just to sort of rest it, and I've not had one, so they just wanted corn. And that's my rig there, look, straightforward, 15 gram guru ring, quick change bead, look, that, straightforward. That's free running, and a piece of corn on a 16, and simple as that really, 0.16. And I've just caught everything. I've had about a cast last couple of hours. I've just fed a tin of corn, and just been one of them days. I've soaked my corn in that Sense8, so I don't know if that's made a difference, but I soaked my corn in that, and hey, look at that, what carp there, oh, it's a duck, look at that duck there, eh? So I've chucked out there either, so it's probably obviously starving to death. I fed a lot of bait there, and I've had one chuck and not had a liner, so I didn't waste time, I just kept going back. End of the day, just keep putting them in net. And like I said, I've 95 pound, I've got a lovely day. I don't think I've quite 100, but I can't grumble, and just hope that you just know that because of this wind it's fished really well. I'm expecting 200 or 300 different places today. Let's hope there ain't none, and then I've got a chance of winning match and winning my section, so can't grumble. Really enjoyed it, had a bite every cast, certainly after in the last 3 hours anyway, and see what they weigh. Well, I've had 11 carp, I've had about 30 skimmers, I think 25 to 30 skimmers, and they've weighed 99.8. Could have caught another one, couldn't I? Had £100, but that won my section, so a good start. But even better, it won the match. So a Chinese, I've got a big Chinese to come, a proper one. So no, a good start in league, and so I'm really chuffed with myself, to be honest with you. I thought there'd be 200 or 300s, and there were 97 on end peg on near bank on, I don't know, it's 11 or 13. Speed at 85 on island other end peg.
and then there were a lot of 40s and 50s, or quite a few. So it's fished quite well, really. But there's some skimmers in there now. It's unbelievable how many skimmers there is. And I mean, I've had my skimmers went £21. So I've had like, I don't know, 25 to 28 skimmers. I didn't count them for £21, and that me 11 carp went £78. So I've just had a great day's fishing, but I've never caught them like that on corn before. It were ridiculous, and it were just stupid. No liners, no indication, just chucked in, and a lot of them I've caught within a minute. So really, so that tells me the fish are off the bottom, and you've chucked in and they've just followed it down and picked it straight up and pulled in. And so no, lovely day, really enjoyed it, and it's nice to get the league started. And like I said earlier, I won this one last year, so I've had a good start to retain my title, and I'm right chuffed. So I'm going home and having my Chinese, full package, all lot. Have a great night.